Welcome to the Real Mom Hub, where we celebrate the beautiful, profound transformation into motherhood.
It's a journey that shatters and rebuilds us in incredible ways. We share the voices of everyday moms in the trenches, honing and discovering their natural instincts and superpowers.
We air out the hard parts of parenting people don't like to talk about. Because matrescence leaves no one unscathed, and let's be honest, it's as hard as it is joyful.
So why not embrace it? Lean into the growth, the struggle, the magic. This is your opportunity for complete and utter personal transformation.
We're so glad you're here.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I was doing really well and now I'm rageful because Kevin has been working out of my office more often. And it is a fishing disaster. And the thing that grinds my gears are the cords everywhere. And he's insisting on this dual monitor situation on my little cute antique painted desk. Also, who knows why, but there is a box of matches strewn about the floor. It's
What?
like, who knows?
Like, do you even have a candle in there?
Yeah, so maybe they were in here and Nora found them. They're all over the floor. It's like every time I roll my chair, it's like...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, as we were getting set up, I was like, oh my God, is she mad at me? So glad you're mad at Kevin and not me.
No, that's correct.
Incredible. I'm so
I know what we're
sorry
doing
that
this
happened
weekend.
to you.
It's okay. How are you?
I'm like feeling a little smug right now after that story. Because I really need my workspaces to be clear. Like I just always have. I don't like things lying around. It drives me crazy. It just makes my brain wild. So I've been returning to my office, which Kyle now prefers. Because I made it nice.
Yes.
Yeah, he took, long story. We don't need to talk about it, but he's in my office often. And a few days ago, I was like, listen, I get rageful when I walk into this space I've made for myself that just has your fish all over it. Like cords, it's the cord thing again.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, how do they not mess with your brain? And I was just like, I need you to not to. Like, I understand you're doing a hard thing right now. You're studying. Like, I get it. Mess up your own office. Well, please don't actually, but whatever. Don't mess up mine. You know what? Mine, just leave it. So anyways, I came in to record this episode with you today, and my office was immaculate, like pristine. Like I can't even, I would give you a tour, but I don't want to make you more upset.
Yeah, no, you're not getting a tour of mine. It's bad. It is bad. Down to match.
Kevy boy.
Yeah, I think that's inspiration. I think this weekend, that's our project. Because we have to share, like, this is the only workspace that's separate. So, like, we do need to share it. And if he's going to work from home more, that's fine. I actually enjoy that. However, we're going to need to do some work.
So is that your hard thing this week? Or did you have a different hard thing that you'd like to share?
Nora's just yelling because she can't talk yet. But we're going to get her in speech pathology. It'll be fine.
For the listeners, how old is Nora now?
21 months.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she would be.
And she's like just so frustrated that she's like yelling, like so, like just, it sounds like she's in pain.
Yeah.
And she's not. Yeah, that's been tough.
That's hard. Yeah.
Also, these sports bra straps hanging out are challenging. Sorry if you're watching this on YouTube. Girls got to be ready to work out at any moment. That's motherhood. How about you? What's hard?
I think the hard thing, honestly, the hardest thing for me right now is it's so fishing beautiful out. Like it is so.
Yeah.
We were out running errands all morning, so like I didn't have a minute to just play with him outside, and I almost canceled on you. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, you know what I would like to do? I would like to bump nap time an hour. It's so nice. I was going to bump nap time an hour just to hang out with him outside.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll still be nice when he wakes up.
Anyways, that's what's really hard for me right now.
Is the weather is
weather's
too
just, like, so nice.
What is beautiful? What are you loving about motherhood?
His energy. It's like he wakes up and he's this little energizer bunny, and it's exhausting at times, but the past week he's just literally bouncing off the walls all the time. Like I can't, you know those old cartoons where like when they're running, their legs are kind of just like a wheel, like a blur. That's how he exists in my brain most of the time now.
So cute.
It's just joyful, and like even when he's really naughty, I really appreciate the fact that he's just going for it with gusto. Like, if you're going to do the thing, don't half-ass it. Like, get after it. Thank you,
It's so cute.
I know. What are you loving?
Charlie is just such a hoot, right? Like his vocabulary has exploded. And so like
Yeah.
you can just
What?
really
His vocabulary has always been explosive.
Yes, but like lately he's just pulling out these words and like understanding nuance and it's just fun. And like I can give him side eye when Nora's being so annoying. We can be like, ugh. And then also like when she's being really cute, he like thinks it's cute.
Oh,
Which
such
is
a good one.
Yeah, it's so precious.
Charlie. Wow.
I know.
What a
I
good
know.
guy.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
Yay. Love to hear it.
So before we dive into our topic for the day, just a little reminder, if you are enjoying this or if you have somebody that would really benefit from listening to an episode or two, please send it their way. There's a lot of moms reaching out that are just, I think, gaining a lot of camaraderie. What's the word?
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Feeling super heard by others sharing their individual experience and
feeling inspired. And that's what we want to do. I mean,
yes,
we're feeling inspired every time we talk to a guest.
Yeah. I mean, selfishly, I just want more for us. I want more for us as moms. That is the whole reason this podcast
And when you say
exists.
us, you mean like us
The
universally.
collective motherhood.
Yeah.
I mean, globally, but really in the US, I want more
Mm-hmm.
understanding for our situation. I want more support for us from our communities, also legislative work. I want more. I'm thirsty for more. Now that I am a mom, I'm a fresh mom. I'm noticing these gaps I never knew existed. And so that's the whole reason that this platform exists, is to raise awareness and normalize some of the hard parts and
Not just
really good parts.
Not just normalize, but celebrate.
Yes. So anyways, there's our pitch to you. Please help us out. If you like the work we're doing, the best way that you can support us right now is to share it with as many women that you think would resonate with these stories as possible.
Because women are awesome. We should probably tell the world.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a big deal. And thank you all for listening. We've just been really grateful and inspired by those of you that have been reaching out.
Mm-hmm.
I get just like this little jolt of joy and happiness every time I see an email or a text, or which you, by the way, you can text us from your podcast apps. Like right before the description of the episode, you can shoot us a text. We can't respond, but we love seeing them. So if there are things you think we're not talking about enough, things you want to hear more about, or if you have your own story or another mom's story that you think is super inspirational or rare, or you think should have some more airtime, let us know. We'd love to talk to her. We'd love to talk to you.
Fills us up.
It sure does.
So we were inspired for this episode by one of our guests. It was Meg.
Well, yes. She's inspiring for so many reasons. But yeah, you and I were chatting the other day about her episode and also Emily Seiler's. There was a piece of both of those that really stuck out. It was Meg, I think, said at one point, I was built for this. Like I was built to be a mom. And I walked away from her episode being like, God, I want every single woman I love to feel that way about motherhood.
Yeah, it was incredible.
And I felt more empowered to feel that way about motherhood. Also, it's not something I feel often, if I'm being honest. And then when we were talking to Emily Seiler, we were talking about her breastfeeding journey, which was difficult. And she didn't have the kind of support that you and I did. And when we asked her, well, why did you do it? She was like, well, it's what we were made to do. You know, basically, I was built for this. So today, let's do a little deep dive.
I was built for this.
Although
there's things that I was built for that I'm like, yeah, exactly. Was I? Are you sure?
Yeah, it doesn't feel that way. Someone told me I was. But So I want to know what you felt built for, where you were like, yes, my body is like here for it. Let's do it. Let's go. And then other things where you're like, yeah, no, I mean, theoretically, this is what I'm supposed to do, but this feels bad or hard.
Yeah, can I start with that one? Because you
Yeah.
said breastfeeding, and this is just funny.
Oh, go.
First child, breastfeeding was not going well. I was using a nipple shield, which is this like plastic thing, if you've never seen it, that you literally put over your nipple and it helps the baby latch.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we had to go back in. Well, okay, like Kevin was hand expressing my milk, which was horrifying for your first child. Like that's a new level of marriage that,
Like
you
how
know,
often? Let's get
every feed.
nitty-gritty.
Because he wasn't latching. So like every hour.
Long?
Oh, just in the hospital.
Okay.
Then we got the nipple shield to work. Okay. So the funny part of this story is that we're back in like 3 days after he was born to do a consult, and I'm sitting there with my boob out. The lactation consultant, like, you know, they like have your boob in one hand and they have the baby's head in the other, and they're like manhandling you in the best way. I'm so thankful. And as this is happening, she's like, yeah, so you have my daughter in choir.
Like you were teaching, you were her daughter's teacher.
Yes. She had a high school age daughter that I was teaching. And honestly, like, I love it. It was in the moment because it was my first. I was like, oh, but now I just like feel this connection with her. I'm like, you got my child to breastfeed. I taught your child. Like, there's this amazing bond. It's totally funny and fine. But yeah, breastfeeding was not natural. It was incredibly hard for me. There's a multitude of reasons, and it was kind of awful, and I'm so glad I could do it. But yeah, like my body's built for it, only it's not working. Hello?
Right. Okay, maybe that we
So
should retitle
confusing.
this episode Breastfeeding.
Honestly,
Just
that's
breastfeeding. Like nothing else. Like just
But you're so natural. You like lounge.
yeah.
You look great when you breastfeed. Auntie Katie would love to watch you breastfeed. If you've never,
I'm sure she
go
has.
back and listen to that episode if you're
Oh my
confused.
God. Thank you. I think that's so. I mean, you always look natural too. Like I was not
like
living in the same
forward.
state when you were using the nipple shields.
Oh, sure.
I heard about it more than I saw it.
Yeah.
But I mean, you always do with your babies.
Oh. No.
Honestly, from the women that I've talked to, so my pool of, I don't know, stories that I've heard, it's not large, right? Like I'm one person in my community. As far as I can tell, I think I had a pretty standard breastfeeding journey.
Well, except for releasing a tongue tie, that was
horrifying. I hated
sad.
it. Yeah, but that is all to say, like I think I had a pretty easy time of it, and it was still hard, and it was still uncomfortable,
sure.
and I still was like, why is this so weird? Why does this hurt so much for like
so
2
bad.
months?
It hurts so
It hurt. It's like agony.
And if you're an IBCLC listening right now, you're going to be like, it's not supposed to hurt, I think, because that's what all the literature say. I've not talked to a single woman that hasn't had horrible pain.
Well, you've got to build up the calluses. Like I think, and yeah, I was in the hospital. We had to do a little, literally we were self-expressing, and I had a lot of drugs in my system, which were not anticipated, they were concerned that I was not going to produce in time because I was on a lot of drugs that were supposed to not help with that.
I was so ready to latch Kieran on.
I love that. Oh yeah, you were around too. You could have. So we were definitely hand expressing colostrum literally into like those
the little medicine cups.
No, it was a plastic spoon because we couldn't get more than just tiny droplets on this plastic spoon that was, I think, came from my breakfast tray. Like it was unused.
Such a weird thing.
Yeah, so we're just like hoarding these colostrum droplets on these little teaspoons to then put in his mouth.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
I mean, it was just...
And you were pumping, right? Like just trying to get everything going.
All the time. Yeah. And I know for me, so I had a cesarean and hemorrhaged in the middle of it. Anyways, blacked out. Woke up quite a while later. I mean, I saw them take him out. So I saw him.
You didn't black out. You were drugged, right?
No, I actually passed out.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
They did not put me out. So I woke up and then found out that one of the lactation consultants had been around when I was passed out and had asked Kyle, hey, can I try and help the baby latch?
That's amazing.
Which I was honestly so grateful for.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I felt really cared for, and I was really happy that Kieran had had that experience, and I don't remember it. I was
Yeah,
out
that's
cold
weird.
for it, which is also bizarre.
That's really weird.
Yeah, weird thing. So then, yeah, anyways, hospital was weird. Multiple people from the lactation team were in. They were phenomenal. I love these women. Whatever women are drawn to helping women breastfeed, just
The best.
phenomenal personality.
Yeah.
all around.
Labor and delivery nurses, just, yeah, you go, girls.
Totally.
I'm sure there's some men nurses, but usually.
I'm going to be real. If a dude walked in and tried to help me latch, I'd be like, okay.
No, I mean like labor and delivery nurses. I'm sure there's some male. I don't know if, yeah.
Anyways, that is all to
breastfeeding.
say, I think it felt highly unnatural. And then coming home from the hospital, they don't really tell you what to do. It's like sink or swim. I was so
With
happy.
breastfeeding.
I was so happy mom was there. But the way that you get a newborn to latch is totally different than you get an older baby to latch.
Yeah.
So the majority of your time breastfeeding, like mom was trying to help me do it and was remembering from like the older baby position, and it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah. Well, and like I'm so thankful for those giant pillows and stuff. Like, what did they do before the breast friend pillow?
I don't know.
They just like use a tree stump, like.
I'm gonna be honest. I liked my Frida mom, whatever they call it.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna get one
more.
Yeah, I inherited a used breast friend. So grateful. It was incredible, but it's like disintegrating, which has, I think, allowed me to purchase a Frida Mom one.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait.
For your next.
Okay,
anyway, so breastfeeding. Natural, maybe like the most natural thing that feels completely unnatural.
No, yeah. Mm-mm.
Oh, wait. Also, we really do have to title this the breastfeeding episode. What is the condition that you had when you had letdown?
Well, you had a little, right? It's called Demer dysphoric milk. I always want to say ejaculation, and it is, in fact, ejection. Dysphoric milk ejection reflex, I think, or response. So basically, it's been a while since I looked it up. One of the happy hormones that you're supposed to get when you let down, you can have like an imbalance. So usually people feel warm and fuzzy and great.
Like our mom.
Yeah, but I felt horrible. Like to the point of feeling nauseous. I felt so truly depressed for like 30 to 60 seconds every time I let down. And like I couldn't, like if I was trying to nurse and eat, I would completely lose my appetite. Like I couldn't do it. I didn't even want to see food because I was so nauseous from how horrible I felt. And it wasn't as bad with Nora, but I still had it a little bit. So yeah, Demer.
I remember seeing you with Charlie, and it's like your soul just like vacated your body. Just complete desolation in your eyes. It was horrible.
I've never felt so emotionally horrible.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Just, yeah. Yeah. It was really weird. Thankfully it's quick, but.
Right. Like it's good to know it's over, but it doesn't erase the fact that your body is just doing this bizarre thing.
Yeah.
That completely affects your perspective on the world in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is extra hard when you're not naturally and when it's not going well.
Yeah.
Or like when I was pumping at school, like that's awful.
Yeah, there's not even like a cute baby for you to look at.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I got it a little bit. I did not get the sadness, just like complete anxiety. That again, it was 30 to 60 seconds, then it was gone.
So weird.
So weird. And I think I would have, for you, it was so bad that you did the research and figured out what it was.
Yeah.
Mine with the anxiety with postpartum hormones, I don't think I would have recognized it, except that I knew what your experience was.
Oh, okay.
But it's so crazy making.
Well, and like I literally read a scholarly article to figure it out. Because maybe it's more so now, but when I was looking it up, I like had to dig to find it. Which is really weird.
Yeah.
All right. Not natural for me, supernatural for my husband. So this is weird. Soothing newborn babies.
Oh, he's so good.
He's so good. And thank God, because I am I'm okay now. But like, this is not natural for me.
Say more. What do you mean?
Well, first of all, when they cry, I feel so bad. I feel so sad. And they cry all the
Yeah,
time.
they
Especially like
do.
Charlie was like borderline colicky. And I would
Yeah.
panic. I'm like, I wouldn't really panic, but in my head, I'd be like, I probably looked like totally stoic to the rest of the world because that's how I am. But internally, I'm like, are they in pain? Are they freezing cold? Am I hurting my baby? Did I eat too much broccoli? And it's like, and no, maybe they're just crying. Like I had to go to therapy because I couldn't handle the crying,
Yeah.
which is so weird. Even other babies crying, like in the, doctor's office the next room over, I would have these like intrusive thoughts of these babies in horrible situations and they were just crying.
Yeah.
So Kevin's amazing with babies, like newborns. I am getting better.
So you don't think that the extreme empathy is like a superpower? Does it just do you
You know what?
spiral?
Yeah, well, with newborns, you can't be logical about it. I think it's great now, like with Charlie, the empathy. That's one of the things that I feel really natural with is just like understanding developmental psychology. I just like it anyways. I did really well in it in school. I didn't really have to study. Like that's just easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's easy for me to see like why a toddler is dysregulated. Like I can
Sure.
quickly pinpoint like, well, these things may have happened. These are variables that I can change. With a baby, I can't freaking tell. So it helped once I like learned about the 4 or 5 or 10 S's, whatever the S's are, or like just
I don't know
like
what you're talking about.
like babies have a certain S which soothes them. So like shushing, swaying. Don't remember the other one. Oh, suckling maybe. No, that can't be. Yeah, like passy. I think it's in the book Happiest Baby on the Block maybe. There were just like certain tactics that once I had a checklist of things to try, I felt a lot more in control. And that's why it's so much easier for me with older kids, especially once they can communicate, which is why Nora and I are not gelling right now.
So if we're talking about this concept of being built for this, that would imply if you're taking that phrase at face value, oh, I'm built for this. I should know how to soothe my baby.
Yeah.
And for you, you needed to consult experts
Yeah.
to gain confidence in having different tactics, strategies, actually just getting the job done.
Yeah. My go-to was not putting the baby down. Like if you're crying, I'm not going to put you down. And I'm going to try to nurse you and nurse you and nurse you. Like that's
That
all.
without the book, that was what you wanted to do?
Yeah.
That's so funny, ironic because when you were screaming as a baby, often all you wanted was to be put down with no one touching you. So
Yeah.
that's
I know. Mom reminded me of that. And like Kevin would do that. I'd be like, well, maybe it just wants to play. Like, no, babies just want to be held all the time. That's what everybody says.
this is so bad. I don't even remember. I remember the crying being really difficult. For some reason, I'm not going to experts to give me tools and tactics.
You're more
I'm
of a gut.
calling you and I'm calling mom.
Yeah,
I'm
which makes
calling a
more
few
sense.
people to say, okay, what circumstances might I not be considering here because I'm in this like screaming, crying tunnel. I can't see out of it. What am I
Yeah.
missing?
Why don't I do that? Meg said that too. Like, that's who she goes to first. And I was like, duh, Callie. We've
Well,
even talked about this, and I forget it all the time.
it just seems like way more work to do it your way.
Yes.
But now I get to call you and you've done all the work.
True.
I mean, this is just repeating itself like rinse and repeat. Breastfeeding
So
issues,
funny.
parenting, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really the beneficiary here. So,
Okay, what was one of yours?
caretaking all the time.
Oh.
It was just when he was a baby, particularly, and not able to communicate with me as well. I mean, I still would, except he just never stops moving. Stare at him. Like if he was playing, I would just stare. I think I could have stared at that kid for hours. Like I
Yeah.
just loved staring at him. I loved being with him.
Yeah.
However, that's really not a healthy way to be. And like I kind of loved snuggling him, holding him, or watching him play. And then I'd be like, all right, well, now what? So
Why do you not think it's a healthy way to be? Like when he was little?
because when I went back to work, when I went back to work and we had in-home care for him, the sense of relief that I would get when I'd be in a room by myself was
Yeah.
pretty telling.
Or that's just like a nice balance. I don't know. I mean, it's so much work to leave a newborn if you're breastfeeding.
Well, and I didn't. I would step out of meetings to breastfeed him.
I'm pushing back because I feel like maybe it's not enjoyable. Maybe it's not easy. But I think that process for our brain probably is healthy in a like, classic Callie suffer through it, get better for it kind of way.
You mean the obsession and the extreme need to be away? What are you talking about?
No, like just being with that baby constantly while they're breastfeeding for a little bit. And then the relief of getting away is great.
Oh, I
And more
see.
enjoyable because you like did the hard thing for a little bit.
Yes, I 100% agree. My point is what felt good in the moment, the brain would have to override the instinct for me every time.
Yeah.
And as I'm learning more about mothers previous to our current society, like hunter-gatherer societies, I mean, women would be breastfeeding their kids up to like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
but they wouldn't be with their kids the whole time. It was communal mothering.
Right.
Other people would watch these babies while
Yeah,
the
that's
moms
true.
went. I mean, it was healthy. It was good for them.
Especially when it's spaced out more. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And on that note, Sadie and Aunt Nancy, who were nannying for us at the time, are so great at tracking baby developmental milestones. Like they care about that stuff and they like think it should be done. And I do too, but I don't care
You're
to
not
do
gonna
it.
do it.
Like I will do it, but I just honestly I don't think about it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And then to have them actually be interacting with him in a different way and teaching with him, I was just like, yeah, my brain does not do baby well.
I felt the
Like I'm
same
obsessed with
way.
this kid, but I do not.
I
I'm
get
watching other adults who are just actually so innately good at it, and
Yeah.
I'm so grateful that they are here for my child.
Even like watching mom with a little baby be like, "Oh, you want the blue truck?" My first thought was like, "Mom, that baby doesn't know colors. Why are you wasting your time?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's literally how they learn."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I had written down play. Play
Oh,
is
it's one of mine too.
not natural for me.
I think that's so true for a lot of adults.
And I get so bored.
I get bored too. I'm like, what do you want from me?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to give you.
Yeah. If like I'll read you books all day.
Yeah.
Great.
There's
I'll cook with
there's
you.
an instruction manual there. I mean, it's
Yeah.
on every page. You just read the words, you point at the pictures.
Yeah. We were at this place that's this morning. And it's this we'll probably have her on. She's a speech pathologist and she's really passionate about like families learning how to play with their children in a way that's great for everybody, whatever.
Oh, please get her on here. I need to know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking after leaving this morning. I'm like, man, she was just so like dialed in, like playing with these kids. And I kept trying to make conversation with her. And she was like, she didn't say anything, but she would respond. But she was like, obviously just like playing with my kids. And I was like, oh, is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Oh, that's another one for me. Okay, so when he was learning how to eat solids, again, this is when we had in-home nanny care.
Yeah.
I didn't really teach my baby how to eat solids. Like honestly, dinner time, like after work would hit and the weekends would hit and I would be like, "Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. This is the worst thing I've ever had to do." Like I hate
remember
this.
being confused purely because you're such a foodie. And then I just felt like you weren't really giving him food. And Kevin and I were like, why aren't they feeding this? I mean, he was nursing. Like he's rotund. He's a healthy kid. But we were just like,
Listen, like I would give him food. I just was like, oh my God, it's going to take an hour for you to like squeeze the avocado and like make yourself all messy. And then you're going to like,
yeah.
I was just like, ew, could we skip this part? And still today, like I have to force myself to be interested in creating interesting flavor and texture combinations, which is not difficult for me to do. I
Right,
love
that's your
food.
thing.
But then I watched this kid just throw it on the ground
Is that why you guys like
repeatedly.
feed him more often?
What do you mean?
You will help him eat, like you're right there with him, like helping him through the experience. And I wonder if it's because you're so passionate about the food thing, you're like doing this together.
No, that's a newer thing. It was probably more because we were in your home more recently.
Oh, and you didn't want him like throwing his food in our home?
Yes.
Okay.
Just and it's honestly just more mental space for me to clean it up. And also,
Yeah.
I mean, he'll often. I love to strap that kid in a high chair where he's strapped in. Love
Mhm.
it. And just let him do his thing because then I can do my thing a little bit.
Right, yeah.
That's usually how he's eating.
Okay.
But he refuses to try anything new that way. We do
Oh.
actually have to be sitting with him at the table or
Oh, sure.
sitting in front of him eating the new thing to get him interested enough to try it.
Yeah.
And then often it is interactive. So he's in a really picky phase. And that is the only way we've been able to get new things.
Yeah,
into
that's a good
him.
reminder. We always eat together as a family, but I kind of just like put the food on Nora's plate, and then if she doesn't eat it, she doesn't eat it. But I wonder if I offered it from my plate, if it would go better.
I don't know. It's just exhausting. Like, even just talking about it, I'm just like,
I'm bored already.
I'm so bored. Like, what if we just didn't? What if you just ate your food? If I
Okay.
starved you, you would probably eat it, and I'm never going to
what
do
they
that because
say,
I
but-
love you too much.
And you're cranky, and then you won't sleep, and I need you to sleep.
I need you to sleep.
Yep. I'm on to my took a while, but I'm feeling more natural list. Do you have any more that you'd like to share of not natural?
Oh, wait. Were we supposed to talk about things that did feel natural? Oh, my God.
I thought we were. I have a couple. We don't have to talk about them.
I said we were in the beginning of this episode, huh?
I'll start. You do some thinking.
Wait. I just have this whole long list of other things that didn't feel natural.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. You go.
Oh, okay.
I'm not kidding, but
I'm
you go.
sure I had more. I just, yeah.
We can move
It's like
this
been a
along.
while for me now. I mean, like almost 4 years
For what?
since like becoming a mother.
Oh, yeah.
So it was nice to like know that I didn't remember that much. Like it
What do you
feels like
mean?
more of a blur because it's really hard when you have your
You mean
first newborn.
The new phase feels
Yeah.
like a blur.
Yeah. Which was a nice feeling. Is that bad? Okay, took a while still working on it, but getting better at mom guilt, specifically for like things that benefit my healthiness, my health, like getting a little workout in, eating food, taking a shower. Like the meme is always like, oh, the mom hasn't showered in like 4 days. I refuse to let that be a reality for me. I love a shower.
Me too.
So I'm a daily shower. Sometimes it's with my kids. Like sometimes it's all three of us.
See, that sounds like hell.
Yeah, it's not great, but I'm a daily shower person. Like I eat square meals. Square meals?
What? What is a square meal?
I don't know. I think I was trying to say like 3 square meals a day. Is that a thing people
3
say?
solid meals?
Okay.
3 nutrient dense meals?
Rewind. That's not
3
always
full
true.
meals.
Yeah, like I eat meals. I'm not just like picking off their plates.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still kind of doing that, like cleaning up their plates, but like I make myself food.
Like even if they're not going to eat it, you make yourself what you need to fuel your body.
Yeah, to a point. I mean, not as great as I'd like, but yeah.
And
so
does
those
that
things-
feel natural for you, or is that something
Yeah,
that
I'm just like
makes you feel more natural and better in your body?
Well, both. I'm like, I know my body needs these things, so I'm gonna do them. Like it's kind of a non-negotiable for me.
Okay, things that feel more natural to me now. Last month there was a 1-week stretch where we had 2 dates in 1 week.
Oh, nice.
Unusual for us.
Yeah.
And it just felt really natural being on a date with my
Right.
husband, which is great because
Yeah.
we used to do that, I don't know, 4 times a week, whatever. But the part that really was cool was that it feels really natural for me to leave him with certain people. Like he's not even really
Your
on my
husband.
brain. Yeah, I like to leave my husband with no, my child. Like that is something I really struggle with, like letting other people care for my children feels wrong. That feels like fully unnatural. And that's something that I want to get over. So it was really great to be on 2 separate dates. 2 different people watched him, and I just wasn't worried. Like he wasn't really on my brain. Like he's always on my brain constantly. Like he's always in the back. That's just kind of how I live now. But no anxiety. That felt natural. And I was like, oh, he must be having so much fun with these people. You know, he must be having a great time. And guess what? He was.
Yeah. Loved it.
So
Win-win.
communal mothering, nurturing, that is something I would like more of.
Yeah.
Felt great. Felt natural.
I love it. I think just in general, my confidence, just as a mom, I mean, Meg kind of said this and I just really agree. At like 1 year old, I just really remember that time feeling like, okay, kind of in my stride, feeling good. I've kept this child alive for a year. This just in general feels more natural.
Something's clicking.
Yeah. Also, I'm realizing that's kind of when breastfeeding like is not important anymore. So that's funny. You know, I'm like,
correlation here? Are they connected? No, I felt the same, and I'm still breastfeeding. Just because I'm letting him lead for now.
But they're like eating food, you know. It's like they're not reliant on your body.
Getting anything right now. He's 19 months. But yeah, a year for this was the same for me. I think it's just that imposter syndrome. Like, am I doing it? Am I a mom yet? Yeah, it was about a year for me.
I would like to hear from moms specifically if that's just like sort of this common denominator, because it just seems like that's kind of the time, at least for the 3 of us, from our study of 3.
From our study of 3. Yeah, totally. I will say there are some protect instincts for him that feel so right. The instincts that make me like fighting mad or just makes me feel like I would take on a 300-pound man for the right reasons. I'm pretty here for those. Those make me feel powerful.
Yeah.
There have been some decisions that we've made about how we spend our time, who we spend it with, what we're doing that are different than the decisions we would have made prior to having a kid, obviously. And in those times, if I'm assessing Kieran's needs and our needs as a family, if I'm taking everyone's needs into consideration and I'm making a decision based off that, or I'm protecting some need that one or all of us has, I have no FOMO. I have no regret. I have no need to explain myself. I am not defensive in the slightest to the people that I'm informing of these decisions. It's just like a concrete, this is best for my family. Ask me any question you want. I am firm in this resolve. That is a natural instinct that has been really empowering.
Yeah, you're a little more natural at that than I am. I've grown into that more, just like trusting my gut and like really being confident in that.
That happened again, like the empowerment happened after the 1 year mark for Kieran, because prior to that, I was pretty fully aware that my hormones, my logic was not in touch with my gut. Like I couldn't have the 2 interact successfully just because of the crazy hormonal ride I was on. Yeah. They were not, there's a direct severing of the 2. So that kind of undermined my confidence in what we were doing. So I do want to be clear that the like standing firm, grounded, instinctive, that is honestly the last 8 months. Like it was after he was a year old that felt right and good. Before that, I was second guessing a lot.
I wonder if that'll happen again, like with new phases, you know?
Like when we have another kid, or as Kieran grows older?
Like, you know, I'm imagining myself like trying to parent a middle schooler, like,
oh God,
you know? But a lot of moms like just love it. Like I've heard moms say just like the older they get, the more fun it is, which so far has been my experience. So I have hope that middle school will still be fun, but
I'm sure it will be. Okay, what else feels natural for you?
I'm pretty chill with physical safety stuff. Like, I just
you are.
my kids just kind of bounce around and it's kind of fine. I wasn't as chill with Charlie, like the stairs, like at his grandparents' house, they have stairs that there's no like back to the step. It's like floating steps. So like those made me nervous because I was sure they were gonna like fall through there.
Mm-hmm.
So like there were some triggers for me or like car or water that I'm not chill physically. But yeah, like on the playground in general, I'm pretty, yeah, which that's nice. I have enough to be anxious about.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say to listeners, your kids, I don't think either of them has a daredevil bone in their body. They're
Nora,
both emotionally,
yeah.
physically, they're both pretty cautious.
I don't know. She's on the dining room table a lot. She's kind of a climber. Not
Yeah.
compared to stories I've heard of other kids.
Yeah,
I
you have a very
suppose.
sturdy dining room table.
Mhm.
But she's not trying to
Mhm.
throw herself off of it.
No, that's true.
Like,
No,
she's
she
just
knows her
like,
boundaries.
here's a different surface. Let me get on it.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watch you with your kids and I'm like, I aspire to be that way. I don't know if I can be.
If it would be safe.
Well, I know it would be less safe sometimes
Yeah.
because I watch Kieran show Nora how to do naughty things. It works for you guys.
It does, and I'm happy about it because it relieves some stress.
Yeah, totally. I'm going to be honest.
You're fizzling out?
I'm fizzling out. I think, honestly, more things felt unnatural to me than they feel natural. You know, it feels really natural and makes everything so worth it is his little snuggles.
Oh my gosh, he's so snuggly. He kept, like, you guys were visiting this past weekend.
Mhm.
He kept coming up behind me and, like, wrapping his chubby arms around me and, like, smushing his face into my face. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So cute.
The baby snuggles are the best. The baby belly laughs. Oh my gosh. Those are the best.
Yeah.
And
Cute.
honestly, like co-sleeping, I'm here for it. Didn't do it the first 6 months of his life
Yeah.
because I'm a really heavy sleeper. Is actually the only reason. That felt really natural. And we still co-sleep when he needs
Yeah.
it.
We never have because our kids won't do it. Although actually Charlie lately, like he'll come in for a little bit. Like if he has a nightmare, he'll like come in and spend like 20 minutes in our bed, then we'll move him back. And it's, yeah, great because they never did that.
Charlie.
I know. So cute. Also, Nora's really cute. Just I need to put that on the record.
She's so
a
funny.
little more difficult right now.
I'm just so thrilled. She's giving you a hard time. I'm not going to lie. After Charlie, Prince among humans, I'm like, yeah, thank God they got one that is just a little. She's got some edge. My girl's got some edge. I'm loving it.
Well, enjoy the nice weather. You should go outside by yourself.
Oh God, novel concept.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know what I do.
Soak up some rays.
I know.
Vitamin D, man.
Well, next week we'll have another phenomenal guest for all y'all. Yeah.
Share with friend.
Yeah. Share with a friend. Give us a follow. If you're feeling really ambitious, you could give us a rating and review. That always helps us out too.
You can tell we'd much rather talk to each other than talk about that. So moving on.
Thanks for being here. Love you. Bye.
You've been listening to The Real Mom Hub. Our music is by Naomi O'Leary. You can find us on social at The Real Mom Hub. We're not the authority or even very educated on the medical issues discussed. Do your own research, talk to an expert, make your own decisions, and call us if you learn anything new.
If you like what you hear, follow us on Instagram, or better yet, subscribe to our newsletter. If you don't, that's fine. We can all move on. Our purpose here is community, so if we've resonated with you, tell a friend.
Thanks for listening.